Hi, this is Sharon Massey. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I just wanted to share this card with you. The reason I made it is because I really owe an apology to my daughter. I kept bugging her yesterday by saying, call me as soon as you can, texting her, and then I'd call and leave a message. And finally, the poor child answered, and it turned out she was really sick. So I really felt badly about it. So I decided I needed to make an apology card for her, and I thought I would just share it with you. This is what I call a gatefold pop-up card. And what I've done on this particular one, and I'll show you at the end of this video, I'll show you a different one. But on this one, what I did is I made a belly band. And when you remove the belly band and open it up, right here, this little kitty pops up. And so it just is a little neat thing. And this says, so sorry, I was thoughtless. And so I thought I would share with you how to make that. You could put any sentiment in here that you wanted to put, but this one is specifically for her. So, because I really felt badly after bugging her so much. So let's get started. Okay, so what you're going to need for the base is you're going to need a piece of 5.5, and it is going to be by 8.5. So here's your 5.5 by 8.5. And then you're going to score it at 2 1/8 and score it, and then, burnish it really good. Then what you can do, you can either score it over here, just flip it around and score it at 2 1/8, or you can fold it and butt it up against there and then score. Now, a part of this card and it working is that you really do have to score and burnish all of your paper edges. So that is that, and this is Blackberry Bliss. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of DSP. This DSP is from Share What You Love, and the DSP is cut at 5 1/4 inches by 1 7/8. And so then you can just go on and adhere it with your snail. And again, as I always say, you want to get the flowers the right side up. And you always try to center it just the best you can, and sometimes it's more centered than other times. And you just put it down, and then real quickly we'll do the next one, if I can catch it. I hope all of y'all are having a wonderful day, and that you're not having to send apology notes to any of your family members. But my daughter's really a sweetie, so, and she did call me back even though she was sick, poor girl. So you just put that down, and then you just kind of set that aside for the time being. Now, the next part that you're going to do is you are going to take this piece, and this is for the inside. It's Whisper White, and it measures 8 by 5 1/4. And so what you do is you score it at 2 inches. So you're going to line this up with the top of your score and just score at 2. Be really careful that you have it lined up well. And again, really burnish it. You've got to get this as flat as you can, and then do the same thing with the other side. And again, you can either fold it over and butt the 2 edges up so you get it closer, or you can use your scoring blade on your cutter. So that's that part of it. And that's going to fit inside of your other card. And you're going to have to make some decisions about what you want to do. In the interest of time, I pre-cut things. So what I want to do is on the inside, I want to put this So Sorry in, and I want to put a pop-up for this little kitty cat. So you open this up and you decide where you want to place your So Sorry. I kind of wanted mine at an angle. Maybe not that much of an angle, but maybe a little bit of an angle. And then I want my kitty down here, and I will put that on a pop-up where the cat actually pops up. And then I want to stamp a sentiment right here. So, and I'm going to say something like, so sorry, can you forgive me, right down here. So, but I think what I'll do is just show you, rather than stamping this right now, I'm just going to show you what you need to do. So you've got an idea, so you know your kitty's going to go down on this bottom right-hand corner, and he's going to come up maybe about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So what you do is you just flip this over like this, and you get your paper snips and make 2 cuts. Now, one thing you want to do is you've got to remember that he's got to glue on there. So you've got to think about how far out you want it and how wide you want it. So I want it about 1/4 to maybe a little bit more, 1/4 of an inch long. And I want the cut to go right behind here. So I'm going to do some guesstimate right there. I'm going to cut here. And then I'm going to go over about that far, maybe a little 1/4 of an inch, and cut again like that. Then what I'm going to do is I can fold this open, and this part will come up, this part will go back, and then you do that. And again, you score it really, really well right here. So now you've got this little piece that you can glue on. Now, before I do anything else, before I glue any of this down, I want to glue it to the inside. And that's probably the biggest trick, because what you have to do is you really have to line this up so that it is spaced all the way around, so that you have the same margins here and over here and at the top. And I need to move this up just a little bit. And this is where, if you don't get this straight, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this and see if that glows down. And it does, so that's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this in place. First, I want to check this side too. And this side goes not quite where I want it, so I've got to move it a little bit. And now let me try that one. So now that's good. I can put this back a little bit. And this is the fiddly part. This is the part where it's a little bit frustrating at times to get it lined up. And normally I could do it a lot easier, but my head would be in the camera because I'd be right down on top of this thing trying to figure out exactly where center is on this. And so please pardon me while I do my fiddling here. So that closes. And that closes, and I want that little white line, so this is perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. I'm going to keep holding this in place, and I am really going to apply a lot of snail. And now I'm going to close this on top of it like this. And now when I open it, now I'm going to flip this over like this. And I'm going to put the snail back here. And again, I want a fair amount of this in here. And now I'm going to come over like this and do that. And now I'm ready to go in here and fold this one down and do it. I found that's the best way to kind of get your glue in and keep your paper centered. I'm not always successful at doing that. We'll know in a minute if I was or I was not. So now we're going to glue that down. And that works. That's about the way I want it. So that works fine. So now you've got this little pop-up part right here. Now this is going to be a little stiff in here. So just be aware of that. It will stand up and be open a little bit so people can see in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my glue dots. And I am going to take a glue dot and lift it off. And I'm just going to put it right here on this little rectangular piece, which will hold my kitty. You can put more than that if you want to, but you don't need to. And then I'm going to put my kitty in there kind of at an angle like this. And now my cat will pop up. I don't know if you can tell that since it's white on white. That probably might not have been my best choice. And now I'm going to take this sentiment, "So sorry," and I'm going to put some glue dots on it because I just ran out of my snail. And I didn't think ahead enough to have my second snail available. So just gonna glue dot this, and that'll work just fine. Where am I missing the glue dots? I think this glue dot thing is about to run out. So now I'm going to put it in here at an angle, and I can write a note, or I can stamp in more of a sentiment right there. So that's that. So sorry. So and then it closes up. Now it's going to pop up, and there are multiple ways of keeping this closed, and I'll show you another one in just a minute. But what I decided to do on this one is just do a belly band. And so this belly band right here, it measures 3/4 by 11. And I just did that because I'm lazy, and I can just put this on here. Now you don't want to do it really tightly because this has got to be able to slide up and down. So I'm just going to fold this over like this, and I'm going to bring this over, and I'm not going to put a real tight fold in it. Just line it up. Just kind of mash it down a little bit. I want to make sure this is going to slide. Okay, so that's good. So I know it's going to slide. So this is where I want it to be creased. And now what I'm going to do is I really don't need that much overhang, so I'm just going to snip some of it off. It's not going to show, so it doesn't matter. And now I'll just put my glue dots on here. Again, I would normally be using snail, but since I forgot to bring the extra part into this part of my house where I film, and I don't want to stop the video, one more up in this corner. Okay, and now I'm just going to do like that and line this up. Make sure that is lined up. I think, did I get it a little, I got it a little wonky, didn't I? Wonky seems to be one of my favorite words today, wonky. Okay, so now that's ugly, I know, but don't worry about it because you're going to cover it up. Okay, what I did for that part that I'm going to put on here, this comes from the, excuse my arms, this comes from the Pretty Kitten stamp set. And what I did is I stamped it and I pre-colored it and went on and mounted it. I used the layering circles, framelits, to cut out the image and then to cut out the border around here. So that's what this is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some dimensionals. I'll pull them in over here. And I'm just going to add dimensionals to the back of this. But I want to be careful. I almost started to make a boo-boo. I'm going to put it there because that way I know it's on the band and not anyplace else. I'm going to put that one over that to hold that down. And now I'm just going to remove these. And then we'll place the circle over it. And we will be almost done. So now we'll just layer the little kitty right on top. And there you go. There's the card. I did want to show you another one I did earlier. It has a different locking mechanism instead of the belly band. This one I did with hedgehogs. I did it for some of my friends. I've got awesome friends. I'm always having to send them thank you notes, which is a good thing. But this actually is, what I did is, there's the circle, and this one opens up, and it says, it's got the pop-up up here, and it's got the hedgehog pop-up down here, and then sending hugs your way. And the way this one closes is that you just put it in. You've mounted the left side with dimensionals, and then you just lock it under, and it keeps it closed. So that's an alternative to a belly band, and it's a lot of fun to do that. So I hope that you have fun, and I'm hoping that when you make a card, that it is not to say sorry to somebody, but just hello and I love you. So thank you for listening. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can go to my site, www.stampsidebyside.com, and let me know that you're interested, or you can go right there and sign up and be a part of my team. It's growing, and that's exciting, and I hope you can be a part. Located in Texas, but glad to reach out beyond that. Anyway, that's enough. Have a good day. Bye.